Hello, I'm Joey Cora, and this is my wife, Kiria Cora, and we're the founders of the Cora Foundation.
Welcome to our podcast today. My name is Kiria Cora, and I want to introduce our guest today. His name is Samuel Teusch, who is the father of Sammy Teusch, a 10 years old boy from Greenfield, Indiana, tragically died by suicide on May 5, 2024, after enduring relentless bullying. Sammy has been tormented both at school and outside of it. And despite efforts to address the bullying, including frequent complaints to the school officials, the bully continued, and parents of Sammy's continue suffering. Samuel Teusch is a father who wants to speak out and has been spoken out publicly following his son's tragic death by suicide after enduring bullying. Samuel has been vocal about the pain his family is experiencing and the broader issue of bullying in school. He mentions that their family have contacted the school about 20 times to report the bullying Sammy was facing, but they felt that these concerns were not adequately addressed. Samuel describes Sammy as a kind and adventurous child. And with no any more minutes, I will introduce our guest, Samuel Tush. Good evening, Samuel. Thank you for
Hello,
allowing
how are
me
you?
to serve in this interview.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
How do you feel, Mr. Samuel, today?
Today I'm okay. We're getting through and trying to figure out how to get set up for Halloween and then for Christmas after that with, and not be sad through the whole thing and how to still give the other children a happy life through this. And seems impossible at times.
Yes. First, I want to say sorry one more time. I know that it has been a really difficult times. When we met the first time, I hugged you because I feel at some point your pain, and I believe that nobody deserves to face something like you and your family are having right now. And before we are going to continue, I want to share something that just made me feel and be connected with this family when I opened the news and I discovered these pictures of Sammy and this news in May 2024. My heart as a mother was broken too. I believe that a super young generation are suffering. Not only Sammy, but others. When you read something like this in the news, my heart was completely touched up by this news, by the pain of the word of every single interview, Mr. Samuel, that you was having in the news. I sit down every single night listening to you, listening to other broadcaster. And having connected with this case, I was praying to God and ask God, what do you want me to do? And I remember that I hear his voice that called this family and serve you. That's why I called you that day and I sent you an email to your representative that you was running at the coaching that or because I want to serve your family as our foundation. We experienced some kind of bullying in our family, but I know that deeply that you was having. at a moment, and that's why the story began. That was the first picture that broke my heart. It touched my life. And I want you, Mr. Samuel, from your own work, to speak out about this tragedy that touched your family and your son.
You know, the word tragedy is a huge word, and there is no tragedy that can compare to this. This is something that I want to fight for every day, for the main purpose of no other family knowing what this pain feels like, and in the emptiness of the open seat when you sit down for dinner. And you know, we've always been a party of six, so even now going to a restaurant, you know, or anything, it's just what you say. And it's one of those small details that bring it back pretty quickly. And I do believe that this can be remedied. I do believe that bullying can be dealt with. You know, the thing now is they just push it aside. They encourage the kids to come and report it, you know, just as Sammy did, just as I did. And then when you do, they act like it's their fault, like they did something wrong. You know, well, what are you doing? Maybe you need some mental help. Maybe you need this. And then, well, wait a minute. These actions happen when this is happening to Sammy. You know, he isn't acting like this any other time. It's not where he needed mental help. You know, he wasn't guarded or hiding here. You know, he was fun, friendly, open, kind. You know, that was Sammy. It was just this area that unfortunately we have to send them to. And then Sammy would say to me quite often that they don't listen to me, Daddy. And then when Nikki and I seen Sammy's school file, it was quite obvious they didn't listen to him at all. They hadn't written down one instance of bullying. They hadn't written down the time that he came home choked. They hadn't written down the time that that he was attacked with the iPad on the bus that broke his glasses and blackened his eye and cut his eye, you know. And that's only 2 instances of 15 or 20, or, you know, what looking back now seems like an endless amount. It's unreal that, you know, I'd been around long enough that we have kids that are way older, and some of those kids experienced bullying. We talked to the school, everything was taken care of. This day and age, they protect the bully.
Mm-hmm.
It's like their number one concern is making sure that the bully's back in school. You know, they got their wish. The bully's back in school, all of them, you know, and Sammy isn't. And it's really, really sickening. The power lies with the bully when they let them know that if you beat up another kid, well, that kid's going to be in trouble too.
Mm-hmm.
So then if you beat him up where nobody can see you, he's not going to tell anybody because he don't want to be in trouble too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's getting beat up, and it's just, when you stop and think about it, it's easy to put yourself in the mind of a 10-year-old child and think you have no way out of this.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am completely agree with you. I believe that Sammy was suffering, but they didn't have the tools to manage
Yeah.
because he was so little, and he was raised, okay, and bully according to your family that intensified after Sammy got his glasses and leading to
Mhm.
increased and physical confrontation even inside the bus when he was kicked out of the bus, including the incidents that broken and sustained the injuries. I can't believe how despite your complaint in the school and your a complaint in the school official, the tournaments and the events also continues until finally like 20 times you said that you went to the school and you reported. I can't believe it. And let me tell you, Mr. Samuel, how did you and your family first realize that Sammy was bullied, and what step did you take to address it with the school
Our
and the
daughter told us first. You know,
mm,
she was the first one to see it, and then there was different stuff that was happening at school, and it was putting two and two together. You know, it was when he started hiding under his desk and hiding in closets, and he would hide in the bathroom, and it was those actions that actually brought awareness to why he was doing that. We never experienced him doing things like that at home. He never did that. Never. So when they say, "Hey, you know, this is what Sammy's doing," and then come to find out that these older kids are using their breakfast hours, so they'll use their time on the bus and torment on the bus, get off the bus, they go into breakfast in the cafeteria, and they're all in the breakfast together, all grades. So they were using that whole time. Um, this involved two different parties. The one party actually had given up about Christmas time, and I don't really want to say made amends, but did apologize. That was brought on by Nikki going over and talking to the kid's mother. But then when this other kid came along, he was attracted to my daughter, who's 11 years old, and had asked to date her. And she said, my daddy doesn't allow me to date. And that's when all this other stuff started. And when it started, it hit hard real quick. And it was just bad news.
yes. Oh my goodness. This is a really a lot of information that you was handled and in so a small time to add again the bullying, because in your opinion, what is the biggest challenges that parents face when trying to advocate to their children in cases of bullying?
Reporting,
Yes.
knowing that it's reported. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? After you report it, did they do their due diligence and actually report it?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know. You know, there's no transparency.
Mm-hmm.
They say this involves other children. We can't tell you this, this, and this. Um, and it's really sickening because you know that they sit down
Mm-hmm.
and create lies to protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And at the root of that lie is my son.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They People that can take a 10-year-old child and make up the lies and hatred that they made up in Sammy's file are the people that we're entrusting with our children every day. And it's sickening that they definitely went into Sammy's file, changed every single page 2 days before they turned it over to us. You can read that in the file. It says that they were all changed. Like I said, none of the bullying had ever been reported, written down, or anything. And when you read it, you would think Sammy was the worst child on earth. So it's not only did they lie, they made heinous lies. And it's pretty obvious that they're either lying or they're completely stupid.
Yes, or
But
they are covering something that is,
yes, or they're
yeah, that
covering
is under
something
the
up.
carpets. Mm-hmm.
But there needs to be transparency. There needs to be an openness where if your child is going through this, you need to know where the closure is. What happened? What's the outcome? And is my child safe in your building? Because that's what we're supposed to trust. Am I correct? I mean, you the
Mm-hmm.
same way with your children. You got to send them to school. You got to trust that they're
Mm-hmm.
going to be okay there because
Yeah.
you still have to go to work. You know, Joey still has to go to work,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to trust that they're in a safe place. And it's not an easy thing to do. And when you talk to the kids nowadays around this town, ask them, and even I just about guarantee you everywhere, but around this town specifically, who are you going to talk to? They'll tell you right away, I don't trust the teachers. I don't trust law enforcement. I don't know who to go to. I don't know who to talk to, because if you go and report it, you're in trouble for reporting.
Wow.
And it's very true.
It's very true. I completely agree with you because I was in the same spots. I was in the same position with you, trying to report our son bully, and everybody was laughing in my face, and everybody
Yeah.
was like asking me, "Is he dead?" No, nobody care about your case. Nobody will listen to you. I
Yeah.
was feeling like I was a crazy woman is trying to speak out like you are right now, and nobody was believing me. Like I was feeling like I was invisible. Like nobody
It's
was looking
terrible.
at me, and nobody wants to look at me actually and hear me. That's why this is very um normal to say, like, and we have to try something different. We have to push the organization, the school, the laws enforcement to do what they have to do is protect our children in our school. The responsibilities are in their hands, not in our
You're
hands. When you pay
yes.
and when you take your child to a school, they are the responsible for what they allow to happen inside the school. This is exactly what they are. Everything that happened under their roof, they have to be responsible for.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, and that's what, they accepted no responsibility at a
Mhm.
time that I never pushed blame. So when they first released their statement that no reports of bullying had ever been issued, my first thought was, why would they say that? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because it was a lie, because we had
Mhm.
been in there so many times. And then for them to publicly say that before anything else got out, they wanted to make sure that they had the people covered and let
Mhm.
them know, hey, there was no bullying going on here.
Yes.
There was no, and instead of them calling me or calling Nikki and
Mhm.
offering condolences and letting us know that, hey, we're going to help you fix the issue, they want to say that you are the issue. That and I told them to their face before, Sammy isn't running from home. Sammy's running from school. Sammy's scared at school. It's you. How do you talk them in to ever agreeing that they made a mistake of
Mhm.
this magnitude? And that's what it is, because I guarantee you, if you talk to the principal of the school, I shouldn't guarantee you, but he seems like an all right guy. I want to ask him to his face, how is it that we talked about this all those times and you actually write down in this stuff that none of it happened? He's got little kids that are Sammy's age. We run into each other at the soccer field and chit chat.
Yeah.
I was always Sam up until the time that all this stuff started, and then I became Mr. Teusch.
Wow.
So, it's a really weird situation to be in with the school. You got to feel like you're on guard all the time.
Mhm.
And my whole thing was, in the beginning, I didn't even push blame. You know what I mean? I didn't. That's when I felt like, man, I'm going to need a lawyer here because they're lying. And
Yeah.
it's just evil to me. To me, when I look at it, every angle that I look at it, it's just evil. We're talking about a 10-year-old child.
Yes. And I believe is a terrorist in the school. It is
Yeah.
a organization, it's a people organizing to make somebody feel bad until they finally commit suicide. This is
Yes.
the goal right now. I believe many cases right now, not only your son, the target is to make this happen, unfortunately. And that's why we have to work really hard, Mr. San. This isn't only the beginning, but we are going to work with you. We are working with you. We
Yes.
are trying our best as a foundation to be the instruments for you and your family to not only recover, to transitions and to deal with what you have to be ready to fight against the system, because this is a system.
This is a
we are
system.
we are a battering, we are facing a system that they are not protecting our children in school. That's why I believe when I called you and I invite you to be part of our project here in Pennsylvania, because you are the voice. You are the the person who can speak out at this moment about your own experience. You have been spoken about the needs for conversation around bullying, not to stop after tragedies occur. What do you believe are the most effective way we can create lasting change to prevent bullying and support affected families?
For one thing, you got to get back to the roots of teaching love and respect and honor and empathy and what it means to be a human being. Math, science, social studies, all that
Mhm,
stuff's important,
mhm,
but being a human being and knowing how to treat one another is of utmost importance.
yeah,
And we're at a point in time where the news is negative and everything you watch is negative, and then you go home and you have parents that teach their kids there's no hope in society, and
mhm,
the American dream is not real and you cannot achieve, and it's negative after negative after negative after
mhm,
negative.
yeah,
And then when you're so far beat down, you're just like, oh, I just, they're right. They're right. Everything's terrible. Everything is woe
yeah,
is me. And that's just not the case. If we're teaching negativity, the world's going to be negative.
yes, completely agree with you,
They
Mr.
took
San.
out
Mhm,
all of the play at school. Okay. So, like, recess time, gym time, art time, music time. Play is so important to a child.
yeah,
Playing,
mhm,
even if it's 45 minutes, go outside for recess. And I'm talking kids that are in 8th grade, not just little teeny kids like Sammy's age, but
yeah,
it's things like this that are important. We have to change. I have seen this school system go downhill
yeah,
big time over the years. And that's one thing.
mhm. Yes, I believe what you are doing right now, and I wanna public say thank you for being part of this change. And I want to share one of the pictures when Mr. Sang was invited to be in the conference that they offer us at Harrisburg to speak out about his experience with this bully in his personal story at the Capitol in Harrisburg June 23rd. Not only we had the opportunity to meet together, he has the opportunity to speak out about his own experience. Tell me something about this opportunity that you have in the Capitol.
First off, it blew me away. It wasn't anything I ever expected. When it was all said and done and the cameras turned off and I had Xander there with me, and we had a guy with a machine gun come up to us and say, Madam Speaker would like a private meeting with you in her quarters. And, I looked at Xander and I told him, I said, you need to understand the magnitude of this. This isn't something that happens every day. This means something.
Mm-hmm.
And then, when we got in there and spoke for the 15 or 20 minutes or whatever they gave us, you could feel that they felt the story and they felt the love and they felt the need for change.
Mm-hmm.
And, they enacted change soon
Mm-hmm.
after, very different than Indiana. I don't get the same response here, but we'll get that. The fight isn't over. It's okay. I definitely do not feel defeated, but the opportunity in Pennsylvania really encouraged me and inspired me and showed me that together we can bring a positive change. We did that in Pennsylvania. I mean, 100% that day we made an impact.
Mm-hmm.
And there was never a time where I felt like it was I. And when I say we, it was you, Xander, and Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it. I mean, it was quite an
Yes.
amazing day.
Here is a big picture where those people were the most composite people that I never seen in my life. They were listening us. They were having the time to separate their agendas and
Yeah.
to receive us as they did. And I'm very thankful, very blessing that they not only promised something, they finally did something to make this happen. And this is only the beginning, Mr. San. This is a project. I
Yes.
remember that they went to a break after summertime and they're going to be back in fall season for the new meetings. And I'm going to be back because this is no finish the project.
No.
This is we have many more changes that I'm asking for, especially in the mental health. And this is something that I want to include also not only for public school, for private school to be involved in every single policy anti-bullying in
Yeah.
Pennsylvania. And in the same happens, we are expecting. Tell us about the Congress enacts anti-bullying legislation in honor of your son, and how many more signatures we are expecting in the next month.
Well, I mean, I'd like to see 50,000 in the next month. We're coming up on anti-bullying month. We're in the middle of suicide awareness month. This is the time for everybody to come together and be supporting something like this. This is a very human bill. It is not Democrat. It is not Republican. It's not pointing at any agenda. It's pointing at our children and the mental health of our children and the safety of our children.
Mm-hmm.
It also points to the fact that it's not just the child that's being bullied that needs mental health care after this. It's also the bully. It's also the families that are involved in this and how you're handling it yourself. My main point to when we first started writing Sammy's Anti-Bullying Act, my main point behind it was no agenda. I do not want it pointing either way. That was what Governor McClinton That was one thing that I wanted her to understand right away, is that, this isn't something that cares if you're Catholic or Jewish or Protestant or Democrat or Republican. It doesn't care your color or anything. This is a world problem, and it's the time for the world to come together and realize that, hey, we got a goal here. We might not agree on everything,
Mm-hmm.
and we might not be able to hang out after this and have pizza together. But while we're in here and while we're doing this, we got a goal.
Yeah.
Let's achieve that goal. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do it
Yes.
intelligently
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
know. And one thing is, you have to mentally prepare yourself to know that this isn't going to be over next week.
No.
This isn't going to be over next month or next year. This is a ongoing struggle. We have to change the culture of society throughout this planet.
Yes, I completely agree with you. This is a big project, and it's gonna take some time and some culture to change their mindsets about having a healthy relationship in the society. That you said, we have to start teaching our children and even having the best example in our houses to be
Yes.
to feel empathic, and not only feel, it's just teaching how to be empathic with other people and to feel compassion and loving and caring for others. I want everybody to have this picture, and I want you to um, announce what is this project about.
Well, this is Sammy's Tree Foundation. I started working on it about a month after Sammy was gone. We, as a family, had realized that if we're sitting in the house and staring at walls, there's never going to be a positive come out of anything. So let's create something positive that can actually make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't going to be something that I'm just going to throw in the water and let stagnate. This is going to be a very living, breathing organization, an actual way to help people find educational sources, or even if they need a lawyer for a case that they're battling or something, we can help them find that. If they need someone to speak,
Mm-hmm.
anywhere, we'll schedule that. I am more than willing to go to anywhere and speak. So it's the way to make a better society. I'm sure it's the same feelings that you had when you were getting ready to start the Cora Foundation. It's I want to do my part, even if it's this little thing. If this little thing reaches one person and changes that one person's life, you have done more than a lot of people ever have.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is one of those things. I would never think of Sammy's Tree Foundation and the Cora Foundation battling against each other. We are
No,
partners,
we are
and,
part.
and
Mm-hmm.
we're in this battle together, like you
Mm-hmm.
said a minute ago, against a system that is huge
Mm-hmm.
and prideful and has a big head and does no wrong. And that's who we're battling.
Yes. This is
Um,
the address for the people who want to go to the website of Sammy's Trees and to try to find out who is this project for.
Very, very new website. So we will be building on this. Like I
Mhm.
said, I have big plans for this. And between what Nikki suggested and it's pretty amazing, the inspiration you can gather from this boy that's
Mhm.
like, yes, let's do this, because Sammy genuinely wanted to help people. He
Wow.
genuinely wanted to fix the world. He wanted to make things better.
Wow.
Isn't here. but let's do that for him.
Yes. You are his voice. Yes, I completely agree with you. And I believe that we together we can do that something. And here is one phrase that I really want to share with you. If you are listening this podcast, is no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. This is something that we really want to share with everybody. And I wanna give my favorite verse, Mr. Samuel. Because the Lord sets the captive free. The Lord opened the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifts up the falling. And the Lord loves the righteous. This, this word is in our promises, Psalm 146, 7a. And our Lord is with you and your family, even in difficult time. And I want you to know that even in the sadness moment, God is with you and your family. And we are going to be there also, even when we are not in Indianapolis. We are going to be supporting your family, and we are here to guide you in the best way that you can feel better, even
And
when you
from
don't have your son anymore. And let me ask you the last question, Mr. Sam. What would you want other parents, educators, and even children themselves to understand about the emotional toll that bullying can have based on some stories?
we've all been told since we were real little, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's not true. That's We're in a different place. These kids are feeling different pressures at a younger age where we have to take that pressure off their shoulders. They're too young for this, and it's even the bullies are getting younger. They're more aggressive. They're angrier. Um, Listen to your kids. Follow through with what you're talking about with the school or what you have going on with your child. Make sure, do they need mental help? Are you doing the right things that you need to do? The one thing that I did was lay my trust in the school. I regret it. They had got us through similar experiences in the past. Listen to your gut, listen to your heart. Sammy was a happy, outgoing, loving child. Loved animals, fishing, loved culture, society, um, and displayed no depression, no signs that he was even anywhere near something like this. So talk to your kids, ask them questions, stay aware, love. At the end of it, that's what we have to do. Don't
Thank
lose
you.
faith.
Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Thank you for your time. Thank you for let us serve your family and to be part of this um, walking, healing process, because it's going to be a little bit more longer that it is right now. But I hope this new project for your life is bringing some kind of healing and some kind of hope for not only for your family, for other people who are going to need your help. And our experience and your experience and Sammy's um, spiritual life will shine not only your life, the other people, because you are gonna make this happen through your foundation. I deserve the best, and I wanna say one more time, thank you for connecting with me. Thank you for let us and believe in the Cora Foundation that we can serve others, not expecting anything in exchange, just only bringing hope, some kind of love from where we are right now.
And I want to say from Nikki and myself and all the kids, thank you, thank Joey, the Cora Foundation, everything that you guys have done to help us. It's been quite amazing, and has inspired me to see what I can achieve setting up a foundation like this, and I will be paying it forward, and I will help someone the same that you helped me. And together through this we'll continue to help each other.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Samuel. Thank you. And I bless your family, and I
God bless
continue
you.
praying for the process to be continue healing and to be helping others through your story, and continue doing the good job. Which you are working hard, and you are serving as a bridge to others in this path, and we are connecting together. And I think
Yeah.
bringing our ideas. When you need us, please email us, and we are going to be always here for you and for your family. And God bless you. And I love this program is in honor of our Samis. And I know that he is here and he will be with us even when we are going to help other families in difficult tragedies like you. Thank you, and God bless you, and God bless your family, and
God
continue
bless you.
the great job with your foundation. And I wish the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for having us today, and thank you for Mr. Sands to open his heart and to be part of this new project in the Cora Foundation. And I hope you like this podcast, and you just continue teaching your child empathy, love, compassion, and mercy to be in a healthy relationship, not only with yourself, with other people. God bless you. This is the Cora Foundation. Thank you for everything. Well, well, thank you, Mr. Sam. 42
Thank
minutes, but it was wonderful. Thank
I'm
you.
sorry, I knew that we were getting long, so
Yes, this is something that we cannot cut, but thank you very much. We are expecting to do an we are doing a free workshop with parents in Miami. I'm leaving tomorrow, and I'm gonna be in the news on Fridays, and we have another project in Miami, and we are going to do something on the 28th. I don't know how you feel, if because this is a group who speak only Spanish. Somebody asked me if I can invite you, but I say let me ask tomorrow, maybe how he feel, or maybe you don't have time, or you don't want to speak in this group. We can maybe take some of the part of this interview and to share with the parents, especially the last part where I ask you about what is your last message to the parents and the school.
well, I mean, I'd have to. That's kind of short notice. The 28th next weekend.
The next weekend, next Thursday, something like that. Yes. Mm-hmm. It's
I
only
mean,
for five.
I have no problems, and it's like I said, I have no problems if I'm the only person in there that speaks English. I promise you, somebody in there will translate what I'm saying. So,
I'm
yeah,
going to be I'm
I'm
going
not
to be
really.
but don't worry. If you enter, it's gonna be the last 10 minutes of the meeting, because we are gonna share something about preventing suicide or something, and then we want you to be the last 10 minutes in the group where you can tell the parents about your experience, and to like an advice something. The last 10 minutes, it's going to be like 5 to 10 minutes. It's going to be really short. It's just one, we want you to, if you feel comfortable. If not, it's okay. I can cut some of this interview and I can share with them.
No, I'm not. I wouldn't be hesitant at all about speaking. I'd be confident that you'd translate everything just like I'd want it, and
Mhm.
that's really the only thing that I'd be concerned with. So
Okay, perfect. I'm gonna let the group know. It's another foundation where we are working together. I believe when we work together, we will be able to make more impacts in this system, because the system is bigger than us. But if we are going to
you
work
bet it
all
is.
together, we are gonna kick out these systems, okay, and to
Yes,
do whatever they have to do to protect our children.
that's right. That's right.
Yes.
Well, let me talk to Nikki and see what she thinks about that, and then
Yeah.
I'll get back with you.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much. See
All
you.
right. Thank you.
Bye bye. See you.
Bye.
Bye.